Hello everyone, my name is RoqueSox and welcome back to the Minecraft Girlfriend Survival Guide, where I'm gonna teach you how to survive in Minecraft without your boyfriend's help. Yay! So, today we are talking about enchanting, and as you can see, my armor is pretty much gone. The only thing that actually remains from the original stuff is the chest plate, because the thing I'm wearing on my head I got from a skeleton a couple nights ago. So, yeah, I definitely need new armor. I definitely need enchanted armor. So, yeah, let's talk about enchanting. That seemed like a very terrible intro, but anyways, let's just do the things. So, there are two ways of getting enchanted things. Number one is you are going to use librarians. And that is great. That is what I use for like my first 2 years of playing Minecraft, because you can get the exact enchantments that you want. The second way is doing the enchanting table route. Now, the reason I didn't use the enchanting table is because it's kind of random. You don't always get what you want, and it's also very, very costly on levels. Is that a creeper out already? My gosh. But anyways, I did cover a little bit about getting enchantments from librarians, and the two most important enchantments, in my opinion, to get from librarians is mending and unbreaking. Absolutely 100% mending, because the only other way you can get the mending enchantment is by fishing up a book, and that is not a guaranteed way to get the mending trade. So yeah, get yourself a villager who knows how to put mending, who gives you a mending book, ideally for close to 10 emeralds per book. I know it's hard to reroll for it, it gets exhausting, but trust me, it's worth it, because mending is gonna go on pretty much everything. So it's for your own good to get it cheaply. The other enchantment that I like to get from librarians is unbreaking, because even if you don't get mending, odds are you will get unbreaking 3 easier. And that, even if you don't have mending, it just means that your things last longer anyways, and I put unbreaking on literally everything. Everything. So yeah, it's definitely worth getting that. And I think the lowest you can get it for is 11 emeralds. But again, I will go up to 20 as the highest trade. So anyways, I'm gonna go to bed and we're gonna go look at the trades I can get from my librarians. Aha, I knew you were still out there somewhere. Nice, got it in one shot. Let me guess, you're going to need 2 arrows. Oh, nope. So there has been a good few changes to the villagers in here. Mainly with my Fletchers, but we will get to that later. So I have been grinding a lot with these guys so that I have enough emeralds to get all of the things. Yeah, the next episode is going to be how to get a lot of emeralds, so don't worry about that for right now. Maybe I should have done that first. Too late, we already started this. So I have maxed out the trades for all of my villagers in here. So they are all on the master level. Wait, I think except for this guy. Yep. Also, this guy made me so mad because he gave me Unbreaking 3 at the price I wanted, right? But I kept him because he gave me Protection 4. We will get to that in a minute. So I locked that in right away. So I needed Unbreaking 3. This guy. I can check the statistics, can't I? That's for times 9. I broke lecterns almost 1,800 times trying to get Unbreaking 3 at a reasonable price. I have broken this more than I have broken crops. And most of that was just to get Unbreaking 3, okay? So when I tell you that re-rolling can be one heck of a long process, it is one heck of a long process. So yeah, persistence. But anyways, I finally got it at 18, just to start leveling them all up, and then this guy gives me it. Yes, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's still within the price range I wanted. I was so mad. So anyways, we're not gonna go into that right now. I just wanted to rant a little. So what I do want to do here is I want to get all of my diamond things. I know I already have a shovel here, but there's a reason for that. Okay, so we get the shovel, the pickaxe, the axe. I actually need 2 pickaxes, my bad. The sword, and from you, good sir, an entire set of diamond armor, please. Oh my gosh, I didn't even look at the enchantments on it. So we're going to get a second set of diamond armor because I need to explain some things. And this is why I was grinding so hard to get all the emeralds I needed. Oh my gosh, wait, I'm still low on bookshelves. Oh, dang it. It's fine. It's fine. For now, it's fine. I can get some more emeralds in a little bit. Okay, now, luckily, when you buy things from villagers, they are all going to come with enchantments on them, which is super, super awesome. They might not be the best enchantments ever, but it's something. And that is really, really great. So this is the shovel that I bought. This is the shovel that I have. How is it a little bit more effective? I have taught you the thing about putting 2 things over here to fix it. Now, if you just do it like that, it's going to take off the enchantments. If you want to keep your enchantments, you need to use an anvil. So when you put, let's not do it with this as an example, we will use the leggings. Fire protection 1, unbreaking 1. If you put those 2 together, they upgrade a little. Now the way things work is that you need 2 of the same level to get to the next level. Or you need something on the next level to get to the next level. So yeah, with that, efficiency 2, we can get efficiency 3. Great, that's how that works. Now the grindstone is here, like I said, to remove enchantments. Because say you don't want an enchantment. Like for example, I do not want fire protection 1. So we simply put it in there. And it comes out without the enchantments. And actually, hang on. Let me just go out of that. I should have had less levels to show this, but hopefully you'll still see a difference. Or you'll hear it at least. You get a tiny bit of experience back when you disenchant. Yeah, disenchant an item. So it's not going to be a lot, but it's something. Now when it comes to using books, I did get a good amount of books here. You are also going to need the anvil to put it on. So let's take 1 mending and 1 unbreaking and 1 protection. I hope I have the levels for this. We put 1 thing on it. Doesn't cost too much. We put a second thing on it. It costs a little more. We put a 3rd thing on it and it costs even more. Okay, I failed at explaining this a couple times, bear with me here. So when you put an enchantment on an item, the enchantment price goes up. I don't know exactly how the science works behind this, but basically you can only put so many enchantments on a thing. And I'm not saying that you can only have a certain number of enchantments. I mean that each enchantment, the way you put it on, has some kind of invisible weight to it. For example, I put the Unbreaking 3 on it in one go. And it would have been more expensive to get that Unbreaking 3 on if I had made that Unbreaking 3 by combining 2 Unbreaking 1 books together to make an Unbreaking 2 book, and then combining another Unbreaking 2 book to turn that into an Unbreaking 3. That would have increased the price of Unbreaking 3 if I had done it the long way around. So there is a way to go around this. I've never actually done this one before, but if you combine books together. Also, you can switch the books around and sometimes the cost gets lowered a little. You know, I probably should have remembered what the actual price was of the thing. but I believe that sometimes the price can be changed if you combine enchantments into a book and then put it on. So we're not gonna put it on that. Take that away and put it on like that. I probably should have done some experimentation before that, but I had to break over 1,500 lecterns to get the enchantments I wanted. I didn't have time to test run this before I started. But yeah, I've heard tale of other players with much more experience than me say that it can be better to combine enchantments into a book and then put it on your gear. I don't know if it actually works. I didn't even do the math right now. I don't know why I didn't do the math right now, but I didn't do the math right now. But yeah, those are things that you can do. Okay, before we continue, I need to make a little bit of money because I need some bookshelves. So excuse me while I do some gardening real quick. Hello? Where are you? Oh, there you are. Down you go. Do you mind giving me your chest plate to match my helmet? Aww. Dang it. Might as well get the spider too. Whoa! Tree cow! You came down! Hi! Yeah, I was wondering where you went. Down from the trees. Anyways, back to gardening. Okay, it is 2 days later. I have all the supplies I need, so let's go make an enchanting table. Unfortunately, I don't have enough obsidian in the house, so we need to go make some. So yeah, let's go on an adventure! And fortunately, we don't have to go too far away, because there is a little lava pool somewhere down here. There we go. Okay, so how do you make obsidian? Step 1, find lava. Step 2, place water 1 block above lava. Step 3, pick water up again quickly. I made a boo-boo. Oh, no, I didn't make a boo-boo. Okay. So to get obsidian, you need to have a diamond pickaxe. You need 4 pieces of obsidian to... I think it's 4 to make... Oh, shoot. Well, that was dumb. Okay, so to make an enchanting table, you need 4 obsidian, 2 diamonds, and a book. But that's not all you need for your enchantment setup. You obviously need the anvil and the grindstone for combining and removing enchantments. But you also need bookshelves, and you're gonna need a lot of bookshelves. Enchanting table goes there, and then you need at least 15 bookshelves. Oh, I've left the lapis downstairs. Ouch. Now, as you see, this doesn't seem to work, because you cannot enchant something that is already enchanted, unfortunately. So I did show you this one, which I made by combining 2 things like this. So we are going to take the enchantments off of the new shovel. Oops. I should really make a space between them so I don't keep doing that. Just one higher. And now, when we put this in, we get access to enchantments. Now the reason Oh, I'm breaking 3, nice. I can't get there is because I'm under the level requirement. It is not going to cost you 30 levels to get this highest enchantment, but you do need the levels to activate it. That's not the right word. Unlock it, maybe that's a better word. You also need the 15 bookshelves, because the bookshelves, as you can see, they power it up, and then you just need the levels to get the good stuff on there. The thing with this is that it changes the enchantments as well, so we're gonna put efficiency 1 on it, right? Then we'll just remove it real quick. Oh, wait, wrong one. And now when we put it back in, we suddenly have different enchantments. Okay, that one's the same, but that's actually a better level 1 enchantment. But again, this is going to cost you a couple levels to do. And sometimes you get more than what is shown there, sometimes you only get what is shown there. So yeah, efficiency 3, I lost, I think, 2 levels getting that. So yeah, this is why I don't really enjoy using the enchantment table, or why I didn't like using it, because it's very unpredictable. You need a lot of levels to actually get all of the enchantments that you want, and you can only enchant things one thing at a time, so that only has 1 enchantment, and then you need a second tool of the same thing. I was actually going to show this with that, now that I think about it. We can put that in, unbreaking 3, fire protection, unbreaking. So there's nothing new that I want from here, and the only way to get new enchantments on this is to enchant something else. So it's a long and tiring process of putting enchantments that you don't necessarily want and removing them just to get the enchantments that you do want. But if you get lucky and you get... wrong one. If you can unlock that and you get that level 30 enchantment, sometimes you can get a good number of enchantments on there. Like, you could end up with this, hypothetically. Okay, you wouldn't get mending because you can't get mending from the enchanting table, but you could get something pretty good just from that 1 enchantment. So it's a lot of dumb luck, and the luck is really dumb because it can really take you forever to get the exact enchantments you want if you're only using the enchanting table. And this is why I like to guarantee having mending and unbreaking, because to me those are the most important things, so I like to have a constant source of them. Now, on top of all of this complicated invisible weights of enchantments and dumb luck of getting the right enchantments and re-rolling to get the right one from librarians, there are also some rules when it comes to enchanting things. For example, there are some enchantments that just don't work together, and that kind of sucks. So the best example for me is the bow. I have mentioned throughout the series that I like my infinity bow. Infinity is an enchantment that means that you only need 1 arrow in your inventory, and you have unlimited arrows from your bow. I like that. And that enchantment does not go with mending. So it's either your bow fixes yourself or you have unlimited arrows. It's one or the other. Another example is with swords. So this is actually a great example. So this sword has sharpness 1. Sharpness 1 is one of the things that conflicts with other enchantments. So swords can either have sharpness, smite, or bane of arthropods. And sharpness just means that it does extra damage. Smite means it does extra damage to undead mobs, like skeletons and zombies. And Bane of Arthropods is for spiders, and honestly I think it's the most useless one, but that's just my opinion. There are also some enchantments that only go on one type of thing. So since I have the sword out, Swords can get looting, which allows you to get multiple, or not multiple, but more drops from mobs when you kill them with the sword. On the flip side to that, you can get fortune, which goes on, I think, pretty much every other tool except for the sword, and it works exactly the same, where you just get more drops from something. So for example, if you put it on the pickaxe, you are going to get more ores when you go mining. And of course you get infinity, which only goes on bows. I don't even think you can get it on crossbows. I think it's only for bows. What happens if I shoot? I had to do that. That was fun. Okay, I got a little bit sidetracked with the last bit because I noticed something and then I realized I already technically explained it. But anyways, when it comes to enchantments, you'll notice that some of them have numbers and some of them do not. So the things with numbers mean that as the numbers go up, they become more effective. So Unbreaking 3 means it takes longer for something to break than something with Unbreaking 1. Looting 3 means that you will get more things when a mob drops than if you had Looting 1 or no looting at all. But things like Silk Touch, it has one job. That means that you can pick things up exactly how they are. So for example, I spoke about bookshelves. If you break this, it turns into books. If you have Silk Touch on the tool used to break it, you will get the bookshelf back. So it's got one job. It doesn't become more effective if it levels up. It's just that one thing. The same with mending. And the same with infinity, which is what I want for my bow. All of this is great information, but it's also a lot of information. So let us do the summary of what I think are the best enchantments to have on your gear when you are still new to the game and just need it for the best level of protection against the world, because Minecraft is a scary game. Disclaimer, everyone has their own preferences. These are just mine. You can play around and figure things out for yourself if you like something better, but this is what I do. So first of all, I have Unbreaking on every single thing. So that is my number one enchantment. And the second is mending. This goes on everything except one thing, which is my bow, but we will get to that later. But keeping this in mind, when I'm going through these enchantments that I put, I'm going to leave out Unbreaking and mending because I'm just going to be saying it like 12 times, if not. So yeah, let us start with armor. So when it comes to armor, I do like to have protection 4 on everything, because it just means better protection against everything else. Protection is one of the things that conflicts with other kinds of enchantments. You get blast protection, which is protection against explosions, and fire protection, which is pretty self-explanatory. I prefer protection because it's just all-round protection from every single thing, and it goes up to level 4, so that. Then I noticed that the chestplate has thorns. It's not something that I aim to get, but it is pretty useful because that means that if something hits you, it takes damage. So any level is great because it still does damage. It can go up to level 3. Next is for the helmet. So on the helmet, I like to get Aqua Infinity and Respiration 3. So Aqua Infinity is one of those no-level enchantments. This allows you to mine at normal speed underwater, and Respiration 3 lets you breathe a little longer underwater. And the last specific enchantment for armor that I like to get is on boots, Feather Falling 4. That means that you take less damage from falling, which, if you've watched my videos a lot, you see that I crack my ankles a lot. So it's super helpful. Are you kidding me? Okay, we will go deal with those pillagers later. For now, let's talk about the tools. So that is the shovel, the axe, and the pickaxe. So on all of these, I like to have efficiency 5, which means that they break blocks faster. On the axe, I like to have sharpness 5, and yes, this is also something that goes on a sword, because both of them can be used as weapons, but I still prefer to consider an axe a tool. And when it comes to pickaxes, I like to have 2 pickaxes. So one would have Silk Touch and the other would have Fortune. Since we have some pillagers around, let's go on a fight while I talk about the enchantments that I like on my weapons. Why do And I'll bring a shield. For my swords, I also like to have sharpness 5, because it obviously makes it a lot more effective than sharpness 2 does right now. Not saying that sharpness 2 is bad. Where did the other guys go? I want the guy with my banner. Well, their banner, but it becomes my banner. Where the heck did he go? Dang coward ran away. The reason why I wanted to fight the pillagers was to actually explain this, because the guy who holds the banner and drops the potions, even if you have Lutein, he is still going to drop only one of those things. Like, it works on certain things like getting bones from skeletons or rotten flesh from zombies, but things like that it would not have an effect on. I have no idea where the guy went. Let's just go back. But anyways, the last enchantment that I like to have specifically for the sword is Fire Aspect. So Fire Aspect goes up to level 2. 1 or 2 is fine. Either way, it just means that it sets mobs on fire when you hit it with your sword. And finally is of course the bow, my absolute favorite weapon. So bows are a little different when it comes to my enchantments, because this is the one thing that I don't put mending on, because mending and infinity don't go together. I personally prefer infinity. There is absolutely nothing wrong if you prefer... oh, my bad. If you prefer mending. Each to their own, okay? There's nothing wrong with them. Now you may have noticed... oops, I just picked it up. Now let's just do it again. Without setting me on fire. We'll shoot there. So my arrow is on fire, but it doesn't actually set fire to anything at all. This comes from the enchantment Flame, which sets your arrows on fire, but only sets a mob that you hit successfully on fire. Which is really great, because you get to set mobs on fire without actually spreading a fire. The next enchantment I like is Power. Power can go up to level 5. I think this one does have... yeah, it's got level 4, so Power just makes it a bit more effective, which is great. I just realized I also have Punch there. I think Punch also only goes up to level 2. It kind of makes mobs jump back a little bit when they get hit. It's not really great and useful to me, but I guess it can be kind of funny if you like watching things fall backwards when you shoot them. Now, going with the whole infinity and mending bow situation. I tried so hard to get this, but unfortunately I didn't. And I'm gonna go back to the trading hall to explain this bit. So neither of these guys are my original Fletcher, because I couldn't get an infinity bow, so eventually I needed one who would sell arrows. Now, the final trade for a Fletcher can be a tipped arrow. Unfortunately, neither of these guys did this. None of my Fletchers did this, and I really wanted this to explain it. Actually, wait, one did have it. What am I talking about? There's one in the village who does. By the way, I fixed up the village a little. And by fixed up, I mean I put a safe perimeter around it, so the villagers couldn't get out and wander up this cliff and fall to their death. There's a pit up here. Let me just show you. As you see, it's not easy to get here. And there's just this giant pit. Do you know how many villagers I have seen make the walk all the way up there just to get up there and fall down to their death? 7! I've seen 7 of them do it. Oh yeah, that's the effect of Punch, where they just kind of jump back. I want to see if he left me any armor. He did not. How rude. But yeah, I saw a lot of villagers fall to their death here, so I decided I just had to seal them up. Okay, here we are. I also added a lot more beds in some of the houses. The church has 6 beds now. Yeah. I also brought this guy over because I realized I needed a second Fletcher instead. So, there we go, there's my other Fletcher. So he has arrows of weaving. This was the only tipped arrow I could get. This thing sucks. What this thing does is when a mob dies, if you hit it with it, it creates cobwebs. It's really not useful. So that kind of sucks. There should be another Fletcher around here somewhere, but he also has a piercing... Is it a piercing crossbow? I think it's a piercing crossbow and the trip hook wire trades. So they don't have workstations here because I wasn't going to trade with them anyways. Excuse me, sir. Sheesh, okay. Apparently I'm interrupting his workday. Anyways, I was trying to get one specific arrow to show for this video. I didn't get it, unfortunately, but it is the arrow of harming. So this just does extra damage. And the problem with tipped arrows, though, is whether you have an infinity bow or a mending bow, you are going to run out of them because infinity bows only work with normal arrows. Tipped arrows, they're just going to be used up normally with the infinity bow. So that's the one downside of it. But yeah, if you're not using an infinity bow or you're just like me and cannot get one even though you really want one, I would recommend getting tipped arrows. Again, specifically the arrow of harming. It's super helpful. It just adds onto the power enchantment on your bow. Sun's getting low. I'm gonna take my cheat route out. By the way, I did test this with a lot of the villagers. They cannot escape here. So it's just my way that I can get out of here. So they're safe in there, I promise. The deaths ended at the 7th one. Are you kidding me? It's raining again. I'm so sick of the rain. And my roof is leaking, oh no. But anyways, that is it for today's episode on Enchanting 101. Hopefully I managed to say everything in an understandable way, / I was able to edit this in a way that makes sense and is understandable. So yeah, again, this is all just things that I wish I knew when I started, because these are things that took me an embarrassingly long time to learn, and if I had learned all of these things sooner, I would have stuck with the game longer and figured things out for myself better. So yeah, again, I'm not really teaching you how to play the game per se. This is just how to help you survive long enough to figure things out for yourself, because Minecraft is a sandbox game. Everyone plays it their own way. I'm just helping you make it through in one piece so you don't get demotivated and give up on it. Because again, Minecraft is such a fun game, and it sucks when you die a lot and lose all of your stuff and you just cannot figure out how to go mining for diamonds without dying all the time. So again, that's the point of this guide, to help you figure out how to navigate the world with your highest level of survivability, if that makes any sense at all. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave me a like, leave me a comment, and if you're new and want to see the next episode as soon as it comes out, be sure to hit subscribe and book the bell. I'm posting new Minecraft videos on Fridays and Pokemon Dark Violet videos on Wednesdays. I just heard my copper golem opening the back door. I swear if he lets a skeleton in, I'm gonna let him oxidize completely, and then I'll leave him out in the middle of nowhere. That's the meanest thing I can do to him. Oh, I see another creeper. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. That is it for this episode, and yeah, I have a lot of things to do for the next one, so until then, you just keep rocking.